Oh my gosh, I love this show so much. I binged it in 2 days. I think people are going to freak out when they see it. It's like the most beautiful people in San Francisco, this crazy, elite, beautiful world, but all these twists and turns, and nobody is who you think they are. I think this is a central premise of like a woman not knowing who she is, waking up in your life and not having any kind of memories and having to piece and patch together who you were or where you are. It's just fascinating to me. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Born Identity meets Big Little Lies, kind of in the world that like it's about this really elite world and the darkness that lies underneath it. Started my relationship with Apple doing morning show. It's been such a phenomenal experience. I love the team at Apple, and you know, the fact that they really support female filmmakers is really important. You know, Gugu's a producer with us on this show, and it's really important that women are coming into a place of leadership at a company like Apple, and it's really meaningful, I think, to tell that that women can tell their own stories, you know, and show a sort of broader spectrum of what the female experience is.
I play Sophie in Surface, and when we first meet her, she has gone through this traumatic accident and she's lost her memory. So the audience really knows as much about her life as she does at the beginning of the show. And it's really this very twisty, thrilling journey, a psychological thriller, really, as she unlocks what really happened on that day. And you find, you know, she lives in this luxurious house, this, you know, seemingly perfect husband, this amazing life. But when she first leaves the house in her recovery, she comes across a man who knows her, but she doesn't know him. And he alludes to the fact that she can't trust her husband. And that sort of starts her off on this journey of figuring out who she really is. And essentially what I love about the show is, you know, we've seen psychological thrillers, we've seen mysteries, but Sophie is the mystery. It's that essential dilemma. What do you do if you can't trust yourself? And the idea of fresh starts, you know, if your memory is essentially wiped, will you make the same choices? Is your fundamental nature a part of you? You know, if you don't have your experiences or your context, who are you really? And will you make the same mistakes again? And I think that's kind of a really interesting existential question in terms of who we are and you know, whether we're defined by our secrets. It's a female-forward story. Obviously, there's Hello Sunshine producing, who I got to work with on the morning show with Apple as well. And, you know, just being such a huge fan of Reese Witherspoon and what she's done with that story, how they empower women in stories, how they uplift our voices, and really, you know, the idea that the quality of the writing was just incredible. I mean, Veronica West's script was such a page turner. From episode 1, I was hooked. And so for me, it was a really amazing acting opportunity because Sophie has a massive arc, you know, throughout the show. She really grows and develops, and it keeps the audience guessing.